And speaking of United Center, it'll also play host to a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Sky announcing their matchups, hosting the Indiana Fever will be moved from Wintrust to the UC, has about double the capacity, so more tickets available to watch Caitlin Clark.
Speaking of the United Center, it will also host a pair of WNBA games for the first time this season. The Chicago Sky announced that their matchups against the Indiana Fever will be relocated from Wintrust Arena to the UC, which nearly doubles the capacity, allowing more fans to watch Caitlin Clark in action. But why are only Caitlin Clark games being moved to the United Center?
Well, what I do realize is that as of right now, no other Chicago Sky game have been moved to the United Center, except for one, Indiana Fever.
Angel Reese recently voiced her frustration to reporters, seemingly confused by the Sky's decision to upgrade venues only when the Fever comes to town. The answer might not sit well with her, but sometimes the truth stings. As it stands, no other Chicago Sky games have been scheduled for the United Center, only the ones featuring the Indiana Fever. When a rookie enters the league and instantly forces teams to change venues because 10,000 seats aren't sufficient.
So it looks like the Chicago Sky have finally done what we've been asking for, which was to schedule the games against the Fever at the United Center. And also, in case you weren't already aware, the United Center is the biggest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever have been scheduled at the United Center.
It's not just star power, it's an economic reality. The Indiana Fever shattered attendance records last season, bringing in nearly 341,000 fans to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Chicago Sky? Not even close. Yet, somehow, Angel Reese has convinced herself that she's equally responsible for growing the game. We've got all the sales data, attendance records, and receipts that explain this venue decision, which has Angel absolutely livid. The Chicago Sky have finally done what many have been suggesting.
When Caitlin coming to town, man, all these teams are going to cash in on that. It's just the nature of the business at this point. One fan saying, let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait. The Angel Reese effect, no. They know better than to leave free money on the table when the face card comes to town. Yeah, man, because we remember last time Caitlin Clark was there, bro, the arena erupted.
Scheduling their games against the Fever at the United Center. In case you weren't aware, the United Center is the largest basketball arena in the country. Both home games against the Fever will now be played there. Did you notice how quickly the Sky announced this venue change? Let's break down what this really means. The Sky just made a major announcement that has the WNBA world buzzing. They're relocating two specific games in the 2025 season to the iconic United Center. And which games are those? That's right, both matchups against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever.
It seems the Chicago Sky have had to move two of their home games to a larger facility, a larger basketball facility. I'm sure, no doubt, this is the Angel Reese effect. I've got no doubts, no qualms. There's nothing. She even told me herself right here that it's not just one other player, it's because of her.
This isn't just a random venue swap. It's a statement that speaks volumes. With Caitlin coming to town, every team is looking to cash in. It's simply the business of basketball. One fan excitedly said, "Let's go Fever, taking over the United Center. I can't wait." The Angel Reese effect? No. Teams know better than to leave free money on the table when Caitlin Clark comes to town. Last time she played there, the arena erupted. What makes this decision so interesting is the timing.
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark? this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie Night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie Night to a 21,000 seat arena.
The Sky played their entire 2024 season at the modest 10,000 seat Wintrust Arena, including every game featuring their own rookie, Angel Reese. Not once did the organization feel the need to move to a bigger venue, not even at the height of Angel's rookie campaign when she was supposedly bringing in huge crowds. Yet now, with Clark coming, Sky President Adam Fox is suddenly talking about rewarding fans' passion and dedication.
Caitlin Clark and Fever games getting moved to bigger venues on the road is normal at this point in time. We see it happen quite often whenever that Fever show comes to town. But in this case, it is interesting considering the opponent and considering the venue.
If that were truly the case, why only for these two specific matchups? One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA is Caitlin Clark's return to Chicago. Last year, the city rolled out the red carpet for her arrival, even throwing a Barbie Night celebration. They gave her pink towels, fans lined up to get autographs. It was a spectacle. How does Chicago plan to top that in 2025? Easy, by moving Barbie Night to a 21,000-seat arena. The numbers paint a picture that some don't want to admit.
My goodness. America's team versus a team who has the person who is the scourge of society. Oh, God. Oh, man. Quote, they watch for me, too. Barbie Night? Which one is Barbie Night? You got to think one of the two is going to be Barbie Night, right? Look at this. Laughing my ass off. Caitlin is really giving every single team a fundraising game. I am weak. My GOAT is simply different.
The United Center holds nearly 21,000 fans, more than double Wintrust Arena's capacity. This isn't just a venue change, it's a business decision that acknowledges an uncomfortable truth about star power in the WNBA. The demand for Caitlin Clark is undeniable, and Chicago isn't the only city making these adjustments. The Washington Mystics, Las Vegas Aces, Atlanta Dream, and Connecticut Sun have all moved their Fever matchups to larger venues.
They'll be moving to the United Center. So that's significant in the sense of it will be the first games ever played by WNBA teams in the United Center. The game's on Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One had a date change, but they will be moving to the largest capacity arena in the NBA. You know, more than double, I believe, what the Sky's typical home arena is able to hold. And of course, I mean, this is a duh for so many reasons.
Teams aren't randomly upgrading venues. They're specifically targeting games featuring Caitlin Clark. This trend is now the norm across the league whenever the Fever come to town. However, in this case, the opponent and the venue make it even more intriguing. Social media reactions tell the full story. Many fans are frustrated that only Clark's games are getting this treatment, suggesting that Angel Reese's drawing power isn't significant enough to warrant a similar move. Some fans have been particularly vocal, arguing that if Angel Reese were truly as big as Caitlin Clark, more of her games would be moved to larger venues as well.
They will say this is because of Angel Reese. They can't say this because of Angel Reese, because for the simple fact, a lot of their games would have moved to bigger arenas if that was the case. They can't not say this. I know people want it, and I know people be mad about this, bro. Y'all shouldn't be mad about this, bro. This is just the reality of the situation. You're not a hater. You're not none of that if you say Angel's not as big as Caitlin, because she's not, guys. That's the reality of it all, bro.
One viral comment summed it up. Caitlin Clark is giving every team a fundraising game. My GOAT is simply different. The awkward part of this situation is how it directly contradicts the narrative Angel Reese has been pushing. She repeatedly positioned herself as an equal draw to Clark, claiming that people watch women's basketball because of her too. But actions speak louder than words, and the Sky's decision to move only the Clark games to the United Center sends a clear message about who's actually filling seats.
Folks, Last year, the Indiana Fever were in Chicago, and a lot of us were asking, why aren't they putting this in the big arena? Are they really that stubborn that they're ready to just turn away dollars just for a narrative? Seems as if they got their end of their year report, looked at the bottom line and said, you know what? Slam shut. In 2025, we're gonna be in the United States.
The move is significant as it will be the first WNBA games ever played at the United Center. The games are scheduled for Saturday, June 7th and Sunday, July 27th. One date was even changed to accommodate this venue shift. The capacity of the United Center is more than double that of Wintrust Arena. This was an obvious business decision. The real question isn't just why they're moving these games, it's why only these games. If Angel Reese were as much of a draw as Clark, wouldn't the Sky move all their home games to the United Center? Wouldn't every matchup featuring Reese be a guaranteed sellout? The logic suggests that if her claims were true, that's exactly what would be happening. Last year, many asked why the Fever Sky games weren't being played in a larger arena. It seemed like the Sky were ignoring an opportunity to maximize revenue. Now, after reviewing last season's numbers, they've finally made the obvious choice. Put Caitlin Clark in the biggest venue possible. The Indiana Fever shattered the WNBA's single-season home attendance record in 2024, bringing in over 341,000 fans, 36% more than the previous record set by the New York Liberty in 2001. This wasn't minor growth, it was a seismic shift.
Guys, I'm telling you, when Caitlin Clark comes to town, put it in the big arena because she is box office and it is going to be big money. Big, full. Not even just the ticket sales, merchandise sales, concession stands, parking. Dude, they are racking in money from every area when Caitlin Clark comes to town. So of course, the Chicago Sky, oh, fine. I guess I'll milk that well until it's...
The Fever also broke the 20,000 fan attendance barrier 3 times last season, while the Sky, even with Angel Reese, never did once. In fact, Chicago's attendance record wasn't even set during Reese's rookie season. It dates back to 2016. When Caitlin Clark comes to town, teams are cashing in. Ticket sales, merchandise, concessions, parking. It's a financial windfall. The disparity becomes even clearer when looking at head-to-head matchups. When Clark and Reese faced off last season, ticket prices skyrocketed, with some seats reselling for thousands. Meanwhile, games featuring only Reese didn't command nearly the same premium. The truth is that Caitlin Clark has elevated the WNBA to unprecedented levels. Before she entered the league, viewership had grown 40% from 2022 to 2023. But with Clark, it exploded by 400%.
Yeah, let me tell you about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark has brought so many eyes to women's basketball that it's amazing. A dude named Acho, I forgot his first name, is something Acho.
Emmanuel Acho.
Yeah. He showed how in 5 days before the draft, she made the WNBA more money than they would have made in the next 5 years without her.
It's not just star power, that's league-changing influence. This isn't about diminishing Angel Reese's talent. She has her own following. But positioning herself as an equal draw to Clark simply doesn't align with the numbers. There's a difference between saying you bring fans to the arena and actually filling seats. At the end of the day, the Sky aren't playing favorites, they're playing business. When one player consistently draws thousands more fans than another, venue decisions become simple. The money is following Caitlin Clark, and teams are responding accordingly. This shift isn't just happening in Chicago, it's spreading throughout the league. The Mystics, Sun, and others are all making similar moves. Caitlin Clark predicted this venue revolution nearly a year ago, casually wondering why they weren't playing at the United Center. Now it's happening across multiple cities.
Again, as of right now, to my knowledge, what I've seen, no other Angel Reese games have been moved due to potential attendance for said game. I mean, I'm just pointing that out. I'm not sure if you're allowed to. I've been told, Angel Reese told us it was because of her too. They're coming because of me. Are they? Are they really?
The financial impact is staggering. United Center games alone will generate an additional $4 million compared to staying at Wintrust. For a league that has historically struggled with profitability, that's game-changing money. At the end of the day, it's not about favoritism. It's about business. The WNBA is finally aligning with what fans have been voting for with their wallets. While Angel Reese continues pushing her narrative, Caitlin Clark just lets her game do the talking.